Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's good to see you. Hey, it's a nice sunny day today. I have some fun stuff to do with you. I have a great book, and then I want to try and do almost an experiment when we're done with the book that I think is a lot of fun. So, and you may see Bruce, my doggie. He likes to come and visit when he hears my voice out here and I'm recording. And indeed, he has just come out, but he's laying down right over here. But you may see him walk by with his tail. If you see him, you can go, "Hi, Bruce." So, the book I want to read you is called No More Water in the Tub. And it's by Ted Arnold. He's the one who wrote the words. And I love, oh, and actually Ted is the one who drew the pictures too, so he did both. He's the author and the illustrator. And I love the picture. You know how much I love pictures in books. And there are some great colors in here, and I can't wait for you to see the pictures. But when you look at the front, what can you tell from the picture there? You're right, they're in the bathroom. Someone's in the bathtub. Boy, it looks like there's a lot of water. I wonder what's going to happen. I guess we'll see. And I wonder if there's going to be some imagination involved too, or if it's a real story, if it really happened. The other thing I want you to listen for is there are actually some rhyming words in here too, and I wonder if you can find them. So let's get started. No more water in the tub. Well, there's the first picture, no more water in the tub. Looks like someone's getting ready to go in the bathtub with a bunch of toys. Ah, here's something else. What do you think? I see him down here, so it looks like he lives not in a house, but in an apartment building in the city. I wonder how that's going to affect the story. Oh, here we go. And there he is getting ready for his bath. So those are all the pictures before our story begins. In a bathroom near the top floor of a tall apartment building, William was ready for his bath. Walter had finished, and fresh water was running into the tub. "Get in, William," said Mom. "Walter, keep an eye on your brother. Leave the faucet on for another minute, then no more water in the tub." "Aw, Mom," William said as he climbed in. "I like it deep." "You heard me. 1 minute." She closed the bathroom door as she left. So it looks to me like William and Walter are brothers, and maybe William is younger than Walter. He's the one who's going to go into the bathtub. Do you think they'll pay attention? Do you think they'll listen to Mom? Turn the water off after a minute? We will see. Walter reached for the tub faucet. "Not yet!" William yelled. "I'm turning it on faster," Walter said, "so you'll get more water in 1 minute. Let's see how fast it'll go." He twisted the cold water handle, and water gushed into the tub. What if I turned it all the way until it came off? Water blasted out of the fixture. In an instant, the bathroom flooded. The tub broke loose and floated away from the wall. When Mom looked in to see what all the racket was, water burst through the door, taking the tub with it. Oh my goodness, have you ever seen so much water? Oh my goodness, I wonder what's going to happen next. Down the hall William sailed, leaving Mom and Walter behind. Picking up speed, he passed the kitchen and the living room, heading for the front door. It opened. "I'm home," said Dad. Then out the door and down the steps went William in his bathtub. Look at that, so much water. Do you see how he came out of the bathroom in his bathtub and he's still moving out the door? Do you think that would really happen? Do you think the bathtub could come off the wall and go out the door? We will see. In the apartment below, Miss Mabel Hattie was serving tea to her bridge club members when she heard a bump at the door. "That must be Betty at last," she complained. As Mabel opened the door, she said, "Why are you always so late?" But it was William who answered. "I didn't know you were expecting me." Oh my goodness, so that's another apartment in the apartment building, and William and his tub and all the water went in there. Oh my goodness, this is turning out to be a very silly story. As a wave of water tipped Mabel backward, William rode his bathtub into the room. He circled the card table and followed the rushing waters back the way he came. Then out the door and down the steps went William in his bathtub. Out went Mabel on the table. Oh my goodness, she was playing cards and all of a sudden the water came in and it rushed her out too. Did you hear any rhyming words? I heard Mabel. Was there anything that sounded like Mabel? You're right, Mabel went out on the table. 2 rhyming words. One floor down, Sue and Vern Maddie were watering their houseplants when they heard a knock. Expecting pizza to be delivered, Sue quickly answered the door. "You're not a regular pizza boy," she sputtered as William surfed into the room, followed by Mabel. Waves rolled through the apartment, crashed against the back wall, and turned. Then out the door and down the steps William in his bathtub went. Out went Mabel on the table. Sue and Vern clung to a fern. Look at all that silliness. Did you hear any more rhyming words? Vern and Fern. You're absolutely right. A fern is a type of plant, and Vern is the name of the man here. Those 2 words rhyme. Downstairs, Uncle Nash stepped into the hall to take out the garbage. He felt a drop of water and looked up. There was William in a bathtub, plunging down a waterfall where the staircase used to be. "I see your folks are having plumbing problems," Uncle Nash said as the churning water swept him off his feet. Past the door and down the steps went William in his bathtub. Down went Mabel on the table. Sue and Vern clung to a fern. Uncle Nash sat in the trash. 2 more rhyming words. Oh my goodness. That's just silly. So many people riding the water down the stairs. I wonder if that could happen. Patty Fuzzle was just about to put her last jigsaw piece into place. She heard a knock and thought her sister Natty was home from babysitting. But when she opened the door, it was William and the upstairs neighbors who spilled into the room. "I have a sinking feeling I'll never finish my puzzle," she cried as the surging tide swirled her around. Then out the door and down the steps went William in his bathtub. Out went Mabel on the table. Sue and Vern clung to a fern. Uncle Nash sat in the trash. Patty Fuzzle steered her puzzle. 2 more rhyming words, fuzzle and puzzle. This is a silly book, isn't it? Oh my goodness. While Mr. and Mrs. Hanratty were out, Natty Fuzzle was babysitting little Dottie. They were in the bathroom reading a story when they heard a key in the front door. "That must be your mom and dad," said Natty. Then she heard water roaring down the hall toward the bathroom. William's tub pushed the Hanrattys inside. "We're home," they managed to say. Then out the door and down the steps went William in his bathtub. Do you remember what happens next? Out went Mabel on the table. Sue and Vern clung to a fern. Uncle Nash sat in the trash. Patty Fuzzle steered her puzzle. And little Dottie sailed the potty. Look at that. She's so little she was on a potty, and now Dottie is on a potty with all the water rushing away. So silly. Downstairs, the Ferlingattys string quartet had been practicing all evening. Those are people who play instruments. "Mind if I fix a snack?" called Mr. Bellow from the kitchen. "Make yourself at home," answered Mrs. Ferlingatti. Suddenly the stove caught fire. Flames spread quickly. "Call the fire department," cried Mr. Bellow. "The building is burning." A fire alarm began to ring and everyone leaped to their feet. Mr. Bellow reached the door first and threw it open, yelling, "Run for your life!" Oh my goodness, that's not good. Look at all that fire. And they have to get out and the fire department has to come. Do you think maybe something will happen with the water? "But I just got here," said William. He and the neighbors stormed in on a tidal wave that flooded the burning apartment. Flames hissed, Smoke and steam filled the air. Just as quickly as the fire had started, it was gone, and the water began draining away. Then out the door and down the steps went William in his bathtub. Out went Mabel on the table. Sue and Vern clung to the fern. Uncle Nash sat in the trash. Patty Fuzzle steered her puzzle. Little Dottie sailed the potty. Mr. Bello rolled his cello. Well, that is an instrument. So look at all of them. Oh my gosh, they're the table. I see the fern. I see he's with his cello. There's the bathtub. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a mess. Fire trucks and crowds of people arrived as William clattered down the front steps of the building. The tub ran aground in the street, and William's neighbors washed up behind it. "Good work putting out that fire, son," said the fire chief. "You are a hero." He hung a heavy medal around William's neck, and everyone cheered. Look at that. William in his bathtub, he stopped the fire. He's a hero. Good job, William. Then they all went home, Walter said. The end. That was a great story, Walter. Tell me another one, begged William. Okay, said Walter. William forgot all about turning the water off in 1 minute. The bathtub overflowed and quickly flooded the floor. Mom threw open the door and screamed, "No more water!" But she was too late. The tub broke loose and floated away from the wall. Then out the window and down the fire escape went William in his bathtub. So was it real? It was his brother Walter telling him a story. What a great story with imagination. And there he goes down the street, off for another adventure. Wasn't that a silly book? And I loved all the rhyming words and the great pictures. So that's the book that we have. And now I want to show you something I found that I thought you might be able to try at home with Mom and Dad. And I put it together. I haven't tested it out, so it's going to be a little bit of an experiment to see if it works, and you will see with me if it does. What I'd like to do is, you saw that William was in the bathtub, and I couldn't tell. I don't remember if there were a lot of bubbles or not, but sometimes people take bubble baths, right? They have bubbles, and sometimes when we're at school, we blow bubbles. But what happens at school if you don't have the bubbles in a jar, or if you don't have one of those wands, you know, the stick with the little round piece that you blow through to make the bubbles? Well, I found a way to make a bubble snake. Isn't that silly? Now, normally this is something that you would do outside, but because my camera is inside here, I'm going to try and do it very carefully. If you do this, I would suggest that you do it outside. So what I'm going to need is a plastic bottle. I'm going to need a sock. I'm going to need a hair tie. I'm going to need some bubbles or some dishwashing liquid, some water, and I think that's it, and then something to catch my bubbles. So I picked a medium-sized bottle, and here I can even show you. I'll take this off, and what I did is I cut part of it off, so I have the part, this is the part I'm going to blow through, and this is where the bubbles are going to come out. Now it's interesting, I suppose if I stuck this in the bubbles and blew very carefully, I might get a big bubble. But what I want to do is try and do a snake. So I'm going to try and put this back on the way I had it here. Let's see if I can remember how I did it. Put the sock around. Oop. Make sure it's flat on the bottom. Bring it all the way up. And then so it doesn't move too much, I'm going to take a hair tie. Mommies use this, and maybe your sisters to keep their hair in place. And I'm going to put it right there. Okay. How's that look? Pretty good? I'm going to fold this down just a little bit. And I'm being very careful with my sock because I hope to use my sock again after I wash it. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Pretty cool, right? What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this and put it on my lap so bubbles don't go all over my house. And what I do, here, I have some soap and water that I mixed together. And I am going to put this in here. I'm going to let it drip off a little bit. It's my soap and my water. I sure hope it works. What do you think? Do this. Still dripping a little bit. Okay, here we go. And you can see how long your snake is. All right, let's give it a try. You ready? Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know if it looks like a snake. I guess if I went long enough, I could. But that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Do you see Bruce? Bruce is very curious. He doesn't know what that is. So I made a lot of bubbles. Now, maybe you just would want to make bubbles all over your patio or driveway. But if you're very careful, you can have your snake go down. Isn't that cool? Look at mine bounces. I wonder if yours could. Isn't that neat? Another thing that you could do is add color to it. See a little bit of color with the light that it's catching. But what you could do is take, I don't know if maybe some watercolor paints would work, or maybe some food coloring that you could just put a couple drops on here, and then when you blow it out, the bubbles would have color. So that was pretty cool. Now, that was kind of a medium-sized snake, right? I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to show you, maybe if you want a smaller snake, or maybe if you don't want to blow as hard as I was, you would want to make a smaller snake, and you would do the same thing. You would cut off part of the bottom here. You would put a smaller sock over it, dip it in, and you blow it off. You take off the lid, and you blow it. Now, what if you want a bigger one? I don't know if this would work or not, but I'll show you. I do have a bigger bottle, and I could do the same thing, cutting it off. Now, do you think I could find a sock that big? I don't own a sock that big. So another thing that you could do, I'll show you, is take a washcloth. And you would put the washcloth on the bottom. You would get another hair tie and put it on so that this wouldn't move. And I will bet you it would probably work when you dipped it in your soapy water and you blew. So I hope you give that a try today, and I hope you have fun with it. I thought it was pretty cool when I found it. I hope you have an awesome day, that you get outside because it's gorgeous out. I miss you and I love you so, so, so much. I'm sending you hugs. Do you feel it? I'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye.